Hello YouTube land, Scott with Dallas Paint Correction and Auto Detailing in Dallas, Texas. I have a truck here that's got one of the trucks today, F-150 or F-250s, F-350s, big Silverados, big Dodges. These emblems are becoming bigger and bigger. I mean, they're like the 10 Commandments. They're like a huge plaque on the side of these trucks. It's almost like the blind can see them. They're getting so big. They can become a little bit of an issue on how to clean them, and that's what this video is going to be about. How do I clean these things and how do I detail them? There's a couple of things that I do. Now, typically, when you're washing your truck, this happens to be a Silverado Texas edition. It's a customer of mine. I do this truck once a month. I may not do this every time I detail his truck, even though I do it every month. But there's times I come across customers' vehicles that even just simply washing, hitting it with a power washer, there'll be stuff, and I'll get into it, that can get stuck behind these emblems, and I'll tell you why. But anyway, I want to get in here and I want to detail this thing. I want to clean this thing. And what I'm going to do is show you some tips, tricks, I don't know, maybe they are, but they work for me, they work in my world, and I wanted to pass it on to you guys because these things just keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger. We have to realize that these are stuck on the side of the truck with double-sided tape. Some of the really big emblems like the F-250 and F-350s, there's actual holes in the body panel, inside the panel, and there's alignment holes plus the double-sided tape. I bring that up because I'm going to start doing some videos on how I remove these things when people want me to debadge their vehicle because they don't want people to know what they're driving around in, or they want a cleaner looking vehicle. Because sometimes these things can become a little bit of a pain in the neck, and that's the point of this video. But we want to clean this thing, we want to detail this thing, and what am I going to do? Well, typically, again, I'm cleaning this truck every month. It doesn't get all that bad, but I'm going to keep looking at it because this happens to be, by the way, this customer of mine, the guy I cleaned his couch, he stopped by my place after I got home from work, and that's why I got the truck now in front of me, although I'm taking care of it next week, right around the first week of June. He saw me pull in from work, and he wanted to thank me for cleaning his couch. He gave me 2 gallons of Super Clean. Pretty cool, huh? So he was here. I said, hey, before you get out of here, let me make a quick video. So he's laughing, going, okay, have fun. But here's the deal. I want to clean this thing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my favorite car soap that's in 32-ounce bottle of water, distilled water. That kind of makes my world. And I'm going to spray this emblem with my favorite car soap and distilled water. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my steamer and I'm going to steam over the emblem. I don't know if the video caught it or not, and again, I'm cleaning this truck every month, but there was some debris that flew out from behind the emblem, and that's kind of important. I'm going to make that point in a minute. I'm going to take a plush microfiber, and I'm just simply going to mop up after myself and get all that junk I blew out from underneath that emblem, or behind that emblem, off the panel of the paint. We want to be gentle, right? We don't want to be rough on the paint. Use a nice plush microfiber towel. That's cool. Now, there's some other things that you can do if you don't have a steamer and you want to get in these letterings and stuff like that. You can use a little Q-tip, get your favorite car soap on it or some type of all-purpose cleaner, and you can get in here and clean these emblems. That's kind of cool, right? I don't need to do that because the steam just blew everything out of there. Now, what I want to talk about and why these emblems become more and more of an issue because they're getting bigger and bigger, they're getting thicker and thicker. Again, the blind can almost about see these things now. Yes, they're stuck on the truck with double-sided tape, but they do move, they do flex a little bit in opposition of the panel, and dirt will find its way behind that emblem, and when it's moving and shaking all the time and kind of vibrating on the outside of the truck, we don't see it with our eyes, but it's happening on a scientific level. If that even makes sense, I don't know, that just made sense to me. That emblem, if dirt gets behind that emblem and that emblem's kind of flexing and moving when you're going down the highway, it'll rub the dirt that gets caught behind the emblem up against the paint, and it will start to abrade the paint. I see it all the time when I remove these emblems. So that's why we want to be able to get that stuff out of there. A steamer works really, really well for me. Now, the second tip I'm going to do is, because these letters are so big, you might have some water spots that end up on these big letters. It says Texas edition here. My next tip and little trick is using Meguiar's Wheel Brightener acid-based wheel cleaner. It will take water spots off these chrome emblems. It's just fabulous. So I'll take a microfiber towel. I'll just apply a little bit of my Meguiar's all-purpose cleaner, my Meguiar's Wheel Brightener, and I'll just simply go over the letters. If I've got nasty junk on there, maybe some bug guts on it or some water spots, this will just annihilate all that stuff. And I love the way Meguiar's Wheel Brightener kind of affects chrome. Even though this is clear coated, it's got a clear coat on these letters. It just makes the letters pop. You know, they call it Meguiar's Wheel Brightener. I wonder if they've got any type of optical brighteners within it, even though it's acid based. I think one of my subscribers, Trent, who's really scientific, and I love talking to him, maybe he knows exactly how that works. But I'm going to go in and just mop up after myself with using Meguiar's Wheel Brightener over those big chrome letters that say Texas. And now what I have is completely gorgeous looking letters, no water spots on it. Again, that Meguiar's Wheel Brightener will take water spots off it. If there happen to be any type of bug guts or blood on it or something like that from the bugs, that'll take it right off, and it will really make that Texas emblem pop. Now, if you don't have Meguiar's Wheel Brightener, and I may do this anyway, if these emblems start to get dull, maybe somebody's washed it too much and they've scratched this up a little bit, I will take a non-professional, you can use a compound, a polish, whatever. I love keeping this in stock with me in my truck. Meguiar's Scratch X 2.0, I guess that's what it's called. It's clear coat safe. What I'll do is I'll put a little bit on a microfiber towel and I'll just put it on by hand. So I'll just do that quickly. I think you guys understand the process. It's not like it's rocket science, right? But I'll put a little bit on my microfiber towel like that. Maybe I'll dab a little bit here, probably way too much, right? Oh well. And then I'll just come in and kind of massage that into the letters. I'll go over it, massage it into the letters. Again, it's not aggressive compound. It's stuff that you can get over the counter. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to blow through clear coat. You're putting it on by hand. But if you really want the letters to pop, this is kind of a simple thing you can do on a retail level. You don't have to go out and buy an expensive compound if you don't want to. This is kind of found over the counter. It's no big deal. I'll go over this. Now, for me, if I was doing any type of paint correction, this is an awfully thick emblem. I wouldn't really necessarily go over this emblem with a dual action polisher and a pad because it's so thick and it's so sharp. I might cut my pad. So I may just use a little microfiber towel and go over it to make this thing pop by hand and just kind of rub it into these letters. These letters don't really need all that much polishing. It's not like I need to do this for very long. I'm just wanting to make it pop. So I'll go over it like that. Make those letters look nice. They'll stand out. And then I'll simply mop up after myself and get that polish off those letters. Now, because the letters are awfully thick and you're trying to remove that compound or polish that you may have used, what you'll find sometimes is your polish or your compound will get stuck in the letters. And again, this is what's great about the Q-tips. I can get in here and just remove that excess polish or compound, however you want to look at it, that got stuck inside the letters. I'll just go in and clean up after myself, mop up after myself, however you want to look at it. I may even go around the letters, around the paint in those areas inside the A here, inside the E's, and kind of clean up all around the paint and just mop up after myself, take a microfiber towel, just clean up. But to me, this is one of the easiest ways. Yes, again, you can wash it, but you got to remember there's some dirt that might get behind those emblems that won't come out during the wash. If you're going to use a power washer, you might be here. It'll work. You'll get some of that stuff out of there. But, you know, not everybody has a power washer. I understand not everybody has a steamer either. But as a professional, this is the best way I can get that stuff out without having to use an aggressive power washer and try to blow all that junk out. My little trick with Meguiar's Wheel Brightener acid-based cleaner, if there's any water spots on these big letters, again, the letters are getting so big you can almost see any type of water spots on them. Meguiar's Wheel Brightener will take the water spots right off it. It just works great, and then you can hand polish it. Again, the little Q-tip trick there, if you get any compound or polish stuck inside the letters, you can just go in there and clean it up. To me, that's how I like to detail, clean and detail these big emblems or logos that are getting out of hand these days. They just keep getting bigger and bigger. I appreciate it, guys. Until next time, love one another, be kind to one another. Push out all the love you can, out of your body, because it's all going to come back to you. I appreciate it, guys. Until next time, be safe.